Okay, yeah, no problem at all.
But yeah, man. Whenever you're ready, you want to introduce yourself to the
Yeah, okay.
YouTube channel.
Let's see. My name is Jeffrey Thunders. I'm in a band called the Ratz. I'm also in another band called Mitch Kramer, and I run a tiny little DIY punk rock label called Die Hipster Records,
Yeah,
all out of New Haven, Connecticut.
yeah, I love that name. I'll ask you about that soon. But for like to put it like I guess, how did um how did you get into like the underground scene and like punk rock music?
um, just from hanging out in New Haven, and just meeting people in the scene,
Yeah.
Um, and then it got to the point where I started a band, and you just start playing locally, and then just branches out from there, and then yeah, and then you just meet people, all over, and then start making ties. But that's kind of how it was, just starting locally in New Haven, and just not being a dick. Although some people will disagree with that.
There's always someone that's kind of right.
There are quite a few people that would probably be like, it's kind of a dick.
Oh well, I can't please everybody. But with how long have you been playing like music?
Oh God, maybe about 20 years. I mean, I don't consider myself a musician, but in high school, somebody handed me a bass, and they're like, "Hey, I want you to play bass in my hardcore band." And I'm like, "Dude, I have no idea what I'm doing."
Wow,
And they were like, "It doesn't matter. You have the right attitude." So
that's really it, right?
I guess, yeah, I guess that was the beginning of it.
Okay.
We were terrible. I was terrible, but
Is there anything
it was
recorded
fun.
from that?
No, no, absolutely not.
Okay.
I think we played. We didn't really play much. We played like two parties in like kids' backyards. That was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from the hardcore band, did that stem into like rock and roll and punk music then?
After that, me and a couple kids were just jamming. It was bad, but it was like super garage. It actually sounded like we sounded like really bad Strokes demos.
Okay.
I was playing bass, and by then I kind of figured a little things out. And my buddy that was playing guitar, he knew two chords, so he just hammered on those two chords the whole time. um, there is a cassette tape floating around somewhere of that band,
Okay.
which was very bad.
Right.
So
Well, that's how it starts, and I mean, all you need is usually in the beginning is what? Yeah, two chords really, and then that's what that's how it all
I
starts.
still only know two chords.
I
So
think I do too.
um, it was really funny. Like that band, we called ourselves the Fuzz,
Mhm.
and we're playing at this party. There's only like five people there, but the cops showed up. The drummer and myself knew that the cops were there, but my buddy that was playing guitar singing, he had no idea. And we were playing I Fought the Law. I mean, it was bad, but we were playing I Fought the Law. And like the drummer and I just kind of started slowing down and backing up. And he's just screaming into his mic, I fought the law, the law won. And eventually the cop just walked up and like put his hand on his guitar. I mean, looking back on it, it's silly, but at the time we we're like, oh man, fucking cops came.
Hey.
But the cop was cool. Yeah, cop was like, listen, I think it's cool what you're doing. I like it, but I'm getting some complaints. Like, go inside and play inside.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
That's good that he was at least cool about it.
yeah, who knows? Maybe he was a Clash fan.
Yeah, you never know. Um,
Yeah.
so with that, I guess it's fair to say, yeah, you started on bass guitar. Is that what you play in your current bands, or is that you switched
Nah.
them to guitar?
No. Yeah, I just play guitar, rhythm guitar.
Okay.
I will never consider myself a guitar player, though.
What,
No.
why is that? Just because self-taught.
I only know I only know bar chords,
Yeah.
so it's like basic like punk rock rhythm. Johnny Ramone style, like just all downstrokes,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have a plethora of a catalog of plenty of songs, and I would, for me, I would say I would consider you a guitar player. Just meeting you, I mean, all these songs that you have written and bands you're in, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's a really good supporting cast in every band that I've had. So,
Sure, sure.
yeah.
So, what was for one of your projects? What was first? Was it Jeffrey Thunders and the Scabs? Was that like your first like? What was your first serious project?
Nah. Probably goes back years ago. I guess really serious. I was in this hardcore band called the Black Noise Scam.
Okay.
I don't know. We didn't. We trying to think like we played in the city a lot. The city of New York. We played down there a lot. I mean, we played New Haven a ton. Worcester for some reason. A lot of Worcester kids liked us.
Mhm.
I would say that was the first serious one. We played some good shows. We played with the Queers. We played with DRI.
Oh wow.
We played with the Germs.
You mean the
So
the
the
2000?
Shane West. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we played some good shows. People seemed to like us. I would say that was the first serious band.
Okay.
I mean, I did have bands before that, but that was the one that kind of pushed me along even further.
Sure. Okay. Well, what was the Germ show like? Were you there? Were you stoked to open for them, or was it?
It was pretty cool, man. I mean, they were all. I didn't really talk to them, but you kind of see them backstage and say, "Hey, what's up?" And they're all super nice.
Yeah.
It was at Toad's place in New Haven. I don't know if you've ever been down there, but
No.
I don't know what the capacity is. 800 people. There must have been like 200 when we played. Nobody goes for an opening band, but it was cool. It was really cool. Nothing bad to say. Shane West sounded great.
Yeah. Yeah, he got a lot of.
He got a lot of crap for that, but I mean, I guess if you're going to do something like that, you kind of have to expect people to talk shit,
Yeah. Right. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
The punk gatekeeping.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So like, so yeah, you said there was like kind of a scene where you were. Did that has that still continued to help you with everything you're doing today, or do you have to like go out places to get appreciated? I guess.
Um, no, I always felt that we had as far as Connecticut as a whole, I always felt that we had a really good punk scene here. Uh, you know, we're all friends with each other. Like, there's no bickering between bands. There's no talking crap,
Mm-hmm.
that I know about. But, yeah, I mean, for me, it was play locally, have some people like the bands, and then start branching out. Go down to New York, go down to Philly, go up to Boston. And to me, that's the name of the game right there.
Right.
But locally, I think as far as Connecticut, I always thought we had a great scene. I mean, there's an ebb and flow. Like right now, it's kind of, I feel like there's not a lot of bands right now because of COVID.
Right.
But we'll see what happens now that all restrictions are lifted.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of bands just kind of went on a serious hiatus.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if that answers your question.
No, yeah. Sorry, I was just curious about more the scene that because I know some bands like don't get appreciated where they're at, and
There's absolutely bands that
yeah.
don't get appreciated.
Yeah.
As a person that books shows, I try to be all inclusive. But I'm sure there's people out there that are like, "Oh, he never books my band."
Right.
So
So I know when I spoke to you the other day, you're showing me the bands in order. Was you said you were in the Lost Riots for about 10 years?
correct, yeah.
So-
It started in January 2012.
Okay. And
Yeah.
So how did that become to be?
Um, our original guitar player's name is Sean. Um, he was bugging me for years. He was in this garage band in New Haven, and he was bugging me. He's like, "We need to start a band. We need to start a band." And eventually, I was like, "Yeah, dude, let's do it now. Like now's the time." And we just started rolling right off the bat. I mean, I'd say within 3 months, we recorded a 7-inch. We were sold out of 300 copies within I think 2 or 3 months after that 7-inch came out, and all of a sudden it was like people are asking us to play. But again, just start local. We started locally.
Right.
We started playing New Haven, New London, Connecticut. I was booking shows already at the time, so I was kind of getting the bands that I want to play with. And then eventually people started asking. It snowballed. It was awesome.
Wait, did you have your Die Hipster label during this, or did that come?
Yeah, so no. The whole reason why Die Hipster started, if I get a little long-winded, just let me know.
Oh, no. Keep going.
But so Die Hipster started because in New Haven at the time there were a couple other labels, and I mean everybody's friendly with everybody, but nobody was kind of willing to put out the Black Noise Scam record. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah.
So, typical punk rock fashion, So I started Die Hipster. I put out the Black Noise Scam record came out in 2000. Well, actually, there was an EP before that came out in 2009.
Okay.
So I put that out, and then I put out our full length in 2011. And then when the Lost Riot started, I was like, you know what? I'll press our 7-inch. And it just, I almost put Die Hipster to bed a dozen times, but it keeps getting resurrected for some reason. I don't know why.
What you have like continuous inspiration maybe to just keep going with it? Or?
Yeah, either that or, I got this guy, Mike Sneak, that helps me out now with it.
Mm-hmm.
And, every 3 months or 6 months, I'm like, man, it's just, I don't want to do this. And he's like, well, hey, how about we put out a zine? And it's like, okay, yeah, let's do a zine. So we do that, and I get excited about it again. And he's like, how about a comp? Let's do comps. And I'm like, all right, cool, let's do it. So, and then I'll hear some band, that I'm like, damn, this band's really good. And I'm like, hey, I want to try and help you to my best ability. Nice. So, to answer your question, Die Hipster was before the Lost Riots.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you get the name for Die Hipster? What was? Is there a story behind that?
Yeah, I was booking shows at Cafe 9 in New Haven, and I wanted a name to go by for booking shows. So I was talking to the owner, Paul, and I was like, hey man, should I just do Jeffrey Thunders Presents, or I'm kind of throwing this name in there, Die Hipster. Originally it's Die Hipster Productions. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, you got to go with Die Hipster. That's great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it started off as Die Hipster Productions, and then kind of when nobody wanted to sign my hardcore bands, I just switched it to records.
Boom.
Yeah, there you go.
That's very cool.
Put the stamp on it.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
When you're I'll ask you more about the label. I know you got a couple of different artists, I think. I did see that hardcore. Now I know the name of your hardcore band. I think I did see it on the Bandcamp page.
Yeah, there's a bunch of the stuff on there, yeah.
Is there any other bands that you look to sign or to help out recently?
Yeah, there's a new band. They're kind of they're called the Resistors.
Okay.
They're actually playing their first show tonight. Oh. They got a Bad Religion kind of vibe to them.
Okay.
I mean, the main guy, Scott Fitch, in the band, he's also in Mitch Kramer with me. So, but yeah. I mean, they're one of the new bands. There's another band called White Thrash. They're from Danbury. Um, there was another band, but they just broke up, so I won't even mention it.
Okay.
Um, but I mean, uh, if the if you write a trying to think of the best way to word it. If you write a good pop song and it's got I don't know, chanty choruses, I'm gonna like it. I also love lo-fi garage punk, so
Sure.
if you recorded something that sounds like it was in your bathroom on like an old Tascam Porta 2, I'm probably my ears are gonna perk up, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now I guess I'm just waiting on White Thrash and the Resistors.
Okay.
So those are the new things.
Right. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Everyone I like talked to on my like little channel has all been like very DIY, so it's really great to see, for me to find more people or talk to more people that are doing it, because it's actually it blows my mind, like with yourself and just all these people doing like oh, no one's gonna do this for us, so we're gonna do it for ourselves. So it's there.
Yeah, I mean, I was friends in New Haven with people that ran like pretty decent sized labels,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like, no, I'm not gonna put it out for you.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, thanks a lot, man. I know it's like a really shitty punk band, but so that's why it happened, and I feel like maybe the same thing happens to everybody else. I mean, I know a bunch of people that have these labels like 8 Up Records and River Monster Records. They're definitely out there, and I know Scotty Saints just started. So I don't know if you know Scotty Saints.
That sounds familiar. I don't think I listened to him though. Or,
Yeah, he's up in Portland, Maine. He just started a new label,
okay.
and I wish right now I could remember, and I feel bad because he'll probably watch this.
It'll come to you.
It's like Bleeding Heart Records or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, it is pretty cool. I mean, it's definitely an underground community.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I thought I knew all like what was going on, but when I started doing this, I was like, this is way deeper than I possibly.
And the thing is, like, I mean, as far as me and Die Hipster goes, and I mentioned 8 Up, and I mentioned River Monster. There's also another band, Rad Girl Records, which you may know about.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, we've all helped each other out.
That's cool.
So it's not I feel there's not competition.
Right.
And there's camaraderie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that sense too.
So
with a lot of people. It's almost like kind of scary, almost how like cool everybody is. Like, I'm just from what I'm experiencing, and it just for you being down to sit down and talk with me, it's just like I'm just waiting for something. I'm like, okay, when's something gonna blow up or something? I don't know. Always looking.
I'm always on my toes waiting for something like that.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but I want to ask. Yeah, I was curious about the label. Sorry if I'm going all over the place, but
it's all good. I'll probably go all over the place with my answers.
That's
so
great. They were perfect. So with the Lost Riots, you guys did, with recording and stuff. Was that also all done by you, like mixed and everything, or did you have a
No, not really. With the Lost Riot stuff, our first 2 7-inches, we were in like just north of Manhattan,
okay.
in the Hudson Valley. This guy Paul Kostabi, he recorded the first 2 7-inches. He used to run a label. Him and some other guy ran a label called Posh Boy Records.
Yeah.
It's like an old punk rock. Yeah. So like, it had all this Posh Boy stuff in the basement, like all these Agent Orange records, and he had this like super rare D.D. Ramone record, and I was like, oh fucking. He's like, just take it, whatever you want, just grab it.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. But the first 2 Lost Riot 7-inches were recorded there. And pretty much everything else I've done since. I have this guy in Cheshire, Connecticut, Bonehead Studio. He lives in the middle of the woods. He's got a log cabin in the middle of the woods.
Oh, that's perfect.
And this whole Yeah, it's awesome. His whole basement is a recording studio, and for the most part, I just hit him up, be like, "Hey Tom, do you got this date open?" And if he's got it open, he's like, "It's all yours."
Nice.
So I've been going to him a lot, and he records, he mixes, he masters everything. So
Oh wow, all in one. Cool.
yes, and he's a punk rocker, so he knows what kind of sound I want.
Mhm.
There's very little back and forth as far as mixing goes.
Yeah. How I have my opinion, but how would you describe the Lost Riots, like the sound and like lyrics and all that? Were you in charge of that as well? I asked you like 3 questions. Sorry, but
Yeah, no, it's all right. The sound, I'd say, I mean, if you're gonna pigeonhole it for like a punk rock sound, like 77 punk,
Mhm. Yeah.
I would say 90% of the songs I wrote and all the lyrics I wrote. I would say our last record, which was The Kids You Love to Hate,
Yeah.
lyrically, that's probably the best I was in that band as far as everything we put out. Some of it was rushed lyrics. Those lyrics were not rushed.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I like.
there's some dumb stuff in there, but that record, I'm proud of. I'm proud of the words in that record.
Yeah, I when I listen to that record, I think that might. I mean, I liked everything, but I think that one was what stood out the most for me.
Yeah, we kind of evolved a little bit. I feel is that record. I feel is like more of like a melodic punk record.
Sure.
I guess
Yeah.
New Jersey sounding.
Yeah. I agree. Like the bounce, they kind of like bouncing soulsy, but I mean, I guess so. I don't know.
There's one song on there where when we wrote it, I was like, "God damn, this is a bouncing soul song."
Yeah.
But it's just it's punk rock,
Yeah, right. At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Where does Jeffrey Thunders and the Scabs fit in this? I saw it was like it was on their band on your Die Hipster page on Bandcamp.
Yeah. I know I'm probably confusing so many people.
No.
So the whole Scabs thing was it was a file sharing recording project during COVID.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it kind of started right before COVID, but once that started, it was like, hey, let's just do this. So yeah, it was total file sharing stuff, and the whole thing was I wanted to release a single a month, and then all of a sudden it was like 2 or 3 songs a month. So when everyone's home and bored,
Right.
why not just write some stuff?
Make some music, yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that's what that was. There were a few songs that were supposed to be Lost Riot songs, but if you're sitting home doing nothing, I didn't want to bug the Lost Riots. It's all confusing.
Yeah.
It's all very confusing.
No, that's.
I think the only one that can understand is Jay Prozac. I don't know if you know Jay,
Yeah,
but
I never. I've spoken to him just to order a T-shirt, but a lot of people I talk with, Dave Strong and all that, they're friends with him.
oh yeah, Jay's great. We actually did a split. Scabs and Jay Prozac did a split 7-inch last year.
Okay.
So
Cool. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, he's got a ton of stuff going on, just like I do.
All right. Yeah, you're definitely like you guys going hand in hand. Like this was just great for me as well. Like speaking with you, because like I said earlier, like I thought I knew what was going on, and then I started doing I started this YouTube interviews, and and then there's so many more bands like I have.
Oh yeah, you're gonna keep digging that hole.
Yeah, it's getting deeper. With the Prozacs too. Like, how did I not know about this band? Or like McCracken's, I just recently started listening.
Oh, yeah.
To, and it's and now you and everything you're in. So yeah, definitely there's no shortage of good tunes to listen to. That's no complaints, but
yeah. I mean, you should definitely hit up Jay.
yeah,
He's a wealth of knowledge.
Oh sure, yeah. You could probably help me out in this this cave I'm in.
Yeah.
So
you're gonna be in that cave for a while.
Yeah.
You're talking to people.
Yeah, I know, right? It's almost like I give myself some time before. But no, this is great. I love it. This is what it's all about. With the Ratz though, How did
Yeah.
where did that come in?
It's kind of funny. I was actually thinking about this earlier.
Mhm.
So I had a show booked in New Haven.
Okay.
My guitar player in the Lost Riots at the time was like, "Hey, I can't do that show. I'm like, dude, the show's in 2 weeks. Like, I'm not canceling. I booked it." And he goes, "Too bad. Figure it out."
Oh.
So I went, "I will." So I grabbed Matt, who also played bass in the Lost Riots. He plays in the Ratz. I grabbed him. I grabbed our drummer, Elvis Belushi, and I was like, "Hey, in 2 weeks, we're playing a show." But I already had like a backlog of songs. I mean, we did play a couple Lost Riot songs, but I had a backlog of songs, and I'm like, let's just practice every other day. So we ended up doing that. We went into the studio. We recorded a demo. So I had like a CDR like on the merch table. Matt went and had stickers and patches made. So in 2 weeks we did all this stuff.
Holy cow.
And we were a 3-piece for a little while. But it was just kind of like a background thing because the Lost Riots are still the main project.
Right.
But once Inez joined the band, she was in the Damn Broads. Okay. Once she joined the band, it just took off, and it's a lot of fun. We may be pissing some people off on social media, but
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, we've gotten very political. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of posts, a lot of triggering towards people on the right side.
Wow. That's great. Maybe they're doing something right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pun intended. So yeah, with the Ratz lyrics and like the Lost Riots, is that it's more like it is very politically driven. With anything like with the Scabs, it's not so much though, right? It's more like this.
Yeah. So with the Lost Riots and the Scabs, to me, that's pretty much the same thing as far as writing lyrics goes. Mm-hmm. The Ratz is definitely, at least the newer stuff, like our last record, Found Dead, and we actually have a whole bunch of new songs ready to go. It's all political. Anything before Found Dead is, I don't know, just kind of random lyrics, but
yeah.
I tried to write stuff that people may just be familiar with. A lot of that Kids You Love to Hate record, sorry, I forgot the name of it. The Kids You Love to Hate album with the Lost Riots is about me just kind of going down to New York and hanging out, and every song is a story, I guess.
Yeah.
And the Scabs is like a continuation of all that.
Okay.
I mean, there's some clunkers as far as words go, but
right.
But I mean, it's fun.
Yeah. What's the with like playing shows and in these projects? What's the furthest you've gone on tour? Is it just the kind of the East Coast area?
Yeah, I mean, Lost Riots went down to Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much just East Coast. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any plans in the future, maybe to try to go out, maybe Midwest or?
I would love to.
Yeah.
I mean,
or Canada.
Yeah, I know a ton of people in Canada, and they're always like, "Come on up whenever you want." It's just
a matter of time.
The past couple of years has sucked.
Yeah, that's true.
I could definitely get out to France for some reason. Mm-hmm. I know a bunch of people in France.
Oh wow.
The Ratz have been selling records in France. I would say every third record that gets sold, like through Bandcamp, is going to France. I don't understand why, but somebody told me that we're on the radio there.
Oh.
Like legit radio, not like internet radio, like not like a like a Mixcloud.
Like turn your car on and it. Like,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, not that I care, but am I going to see a penny or two from that?
Yeah, that's interesting. You should probably.
Probably not. But...
Should probably. Do you know what song they're playing?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Okay. Huh. Well, explain.
I mean, there's a lot of profanity in those lyrics,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I'm not sure how the radio works over in your car. I don't know if you're allowed to.
I don't know. It would be cool to get over there, though.
Wow, yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah,
Is that just that's just with the Rats, not with the?
that's just the Rats.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Maybe it's the label we're on. Maybe he's doing something for us. Because actually, the Rats, the last record is on Dismantled Records, which is out of New Hampshire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that's like one of the first things that I never put out.
Right.
So it's kind of awesome.
Yeah, definitely. What is with like having oh yeah, there's actually another band that you mentioned. It was Mitch Kramer. Can you tell me?
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that?
Mitch Kramer's my new thing.
Yeah.
And it's excuse me. It's pretty much the same thing as it picks up where the Lost Riots left off.
Okay.
So I always want like two outlets, you know. The Rats are the fast, sloppy political band,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and the Lost Riots / Mitch Kramer are, you know, let me make believe I'm Bruce Springsteen or Craig Finn and try to write some lyrics with meaning to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Would you say those are your biggest influences, or what is? I know it's hard to. I know you said Johnny Ramone.
No. Influence as far as like music goes or lyrics go.
Both.
I would say musically, that's a tough one, man.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. Like,
It is tough.
yeah, I don't know. I Black Flag. If it's the Rats, it's that early West Coast hardcore stuff. You know, Black Flag, Circle Jerks, Adolescence, stuff like that. If it's, I guess now Mitch Kramer or the Lost Riots, it was you know, the Clash, Dead Boys,
Yeah.
the Replacements. I mean, I can't even believe I'm forgetting the Replacements in there.
No, that's yeah, that's one of my favorite bands of all time.
Yeah, I mean, if you're, I would say Stink is one of my favorite records of all time. I have this weird fascination with Paul Westerberg.
Yeah. Me too.
He's a guy that he could fart into the microphone for an hour, and I would be like, "This is the greatest recording ever."
Yeah, right. True.
As far as lyrically, Craig Finn is big. I don't know if you know Craig Finn. I mean, even the Hold Steady's music is awesome, but Craig Finn lyrically, you could say Bruce Springsteen. I mean, I joke about it. Growing up as an Italian kid in the tri-state area, you know, Bruce Springsteen is just like, it's in my bones.
Yeah, totally.
like in a lower blue class, like working neighborhood.
It's like on that street corner, whatever they say, whatever the lyrics are.
Yeah,
I feel that.
it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
There's that hardcore band from Boston called Defeater. I don't know if you know them, but
Yeah.
the dude Derek, he writes, his lyrics are ridiculous, man.
I get lost in the albums. Like, I'm not sure what, like, I knew this one guy, he, like, totally, like, memorized the, like, albums. Like, dude, this new album coming out, it's going to be about this. Like, I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, every album is like a concept album, which is kind of cool, but his lyrics are phenomenal. Like, I would say, out of, like, newer bands, like, he's awesome. Yeah, those three. I'm sure later on I'll be like, I should have said that guy.
Sure, it's always changing. It's a floodgate of inspiration everywhere you look.
Oh, it definitely is.
Yeah, it's a tough question to ask.
I'm looking at my records now, like, okay, well, what else am I influenced by? But
yeah,
sometimes it's just day-to-day events, you know, writing about that. I mean, especially with the Rats, like, some politician says something stupid or does something stupid. It's like, oh, okay, I'm definitely going to write about it. Like we have a new song. It's everybody in the band is like, I don't know about that title, man, but it's called "Let's Go, Brandon."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
um, yeah, stupid stuff. But like that song is kind of about like white supremacists, and kind of like giving them the middle finger.
Yeah.
Because like the chorus is like gang vocals saying "Let's go, Brandon," and then actually no, it's just Inez sings a song, so she just sings "Let's go, Brandon, let's go, Brandon, let's go, Brandon," and then gang vocals say "Fuck you."
Okay.
So
Oh, nice.
yeah,
That's cool. Yeah, I went to a Guar show like in October. It was one of the first few shows back, and it was I Hate God. I was opening, and
yeah,
everyone in the crowd just started chanting "Let's go, Brandon." And the guy was like, "What the fuck are you guys talking? Like what? Like he didn't understand I guess the whole lingo, but he's like, "Can you guys just shut the fuck up?" Whatever. It's pretty funny. That's cool. So that's gonna be that's gonna be on the upcoming release.
yeah. That's gonna be on the next one. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I actually talking about Gore. Like I used to work at this little indie record store,
Hmm.
and Gore came and did like a meet and greet and autograph signing,
Oh wow.
like full costume. It was awesome. They were there for like 2 or 3 hours, just taking pictures, signing autographs, everything.
Is that before Dave Brocky?
It was cool. Yeah, this was a good. It might have been like 15 years ago,
Okay, yeah, oh yeah, he's still.
maybe a little bit longer, maybe like 20 years ago. I'm old.
No,
Okay,
it was like 12, right? No.
it's a couple weeks
Yeah,
ago.
that's cool.
No,
Yeah, my friend Bird, he's a big War fan, so he'll love to hear that.
it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. So what's it like though with like when I first started talking to you, I was like, holy crap, all these projects he's doing, and like, and he does a record, he does a label. So how is that management for you? Like, does it get overwhelming at times? I imagine it would be.
No, not really.
No.
The only time that I get a little stressed out is like if somebody asks, like, "Hey, can one of your bands play this show?"
Hmm.
And then I gotta, I'll have one. Like the Ratz always gets first choice.
Okay.
Like for instance, right now, I'm waiting on somebody in the band for 2 dates, and I keep on saying, "Can you just say yes or no?" Because if you say no, I'm gonna ask Mitch Kramer to play the show. That's the only time it gets a little hectic or a little stressful.
Sure.
Um, the label thing, no, not at all.
That's great.
Not at all. To me, that's fun, and the fact that I got somebody else doing it with me makes it a lot easier.
Sure. Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff on there is just my projects.
Hmm.
So
That's great.
no, it's not nothing's hectic or stressful.
Oh, good. Yeah. I just for me like that. I was like, it was kind of like not stressing me out, but I was like, holy crap, I would lose my brain would probably melt just trying to. Because you're all you mentioned you book, so I'm sure you're booking your own shows for all your projects, unless you get asked for stuff. But
Yeah, and it's a lot easier booking your own show, just because I could kind of ask who I want.
mm,
If I'm really digging a band, I'm gonna be like, hey, I got this date, can you play it? Like right now, I'm waiting on word from this band from Massachusetts. They're like a total garage band, and I'm stoked on them, and I hope they could do it.
oh cool, yeah.
But like, my whole thing is, even if there's 5 people usually I play bars. Even if there's 5 people at the bar, and this band comes in, if there's 2 people that are like, that band was really fucking good, next time, maybe those 2 people will tell 2 other people, there'll be 4 people there.
For sure.
That like, what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I got you.
I don't know if that's making sense, but
No, totally.
um,
It gets bigger and bigger every time you come back.
yeah. And
I think that's.
I don't know if you've heard do you know the Anti-Queens? They're from Ontario.
I just
I mean,
I just heard that name somewhere today, actually.
Well, you got a Jason's poster behind you, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I think they played with the Jasons a ton.
That might be where I got the name then.
Yeah, and I feel like they just toured with them, or they're about to, I don't know. But I mean, the perfect example. They came through once. I had them the next year. They came down, and there was like 50 extra people. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, all of a sudden, all these people, and they're like wearing their T-shirts, and I'm like, "Where the hell were you people last time?" But every time they come back, there's like more and more people. I mean, they're a great band, so
Right. That's fantastic.
people should come out.
Right. There's a lot of work to be done now too, because like you said, everything's opening back up. Bands are going on tour again. Albums are coming out now. So like all with all the bands and tours you've done, what are some bands that you play with that you couldn't believe?
Well, we did the Upstart Fest with Cheetah Chrome, the Queers, the Svetlanas. I've actually been real fortunate as far as playing with bands. Marky Ramone, CJ Ramone, Richie Ramone, Channel 3 I played with.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I played with The Virus. That was pretty awesome.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Probably a band that nobody's ever heard of. They're from New Jersey. They're called Scandals.
Scandals, okay.
They're called the Scandals. And here's the record cover, if you could see it. I know there's a glare from my...
Oh, it's like an old stereo.
Yeah. I don't know, whatever. The Scandals, yeah.
Cool. Awesome,
But I can't... There's probably other bands that I played with where I'm not the type of person to be like, oh, yeah, I've done this and done that.
Or like Johnny Ramone, he has like a book of everything.
Yeah, no. I mean, I will say, Andrew WK is a cool motherfucker.
All right, yeah.
He really is.
That was for Marky, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I would say at one point, anybody coming through New Haven, we kind of got asked to play.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I feel like I played with Agent Orange, but I know it wasn't Agent Orange.
It could have been. They come to
Steve Soto.
Okay. Maybe it was.
No, they have come around a bunch of times, but I'm trying to think. I mean, you know, I played with the Pissed. I played with Blank 77. I mean,
You said Steve Soto. Maybe when he was playing for CJ. Sorry, I know used to play with CJ. Remember?
It was with CJ.
That's awesome. So you got to see.
I was geeking out hard because I was touching CJ's his case because I mean he's still got all the Ramones stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm touching a Ramones like amp.
It's like the holy grail.
It was.
Awesome, man.
He was cool. He was a real cool dude too. You know.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a shame he's over in California. You know, well, it's good for him, but now it's less likely of a chance I'll see him on the East Coast.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but yeah, the Prozacs.
Prozac, yeah.
I love the Prozacs. Played a ton of shows with them. But yeah, so if you don't mind me telling a funny story.
No, not at all.
When we were with Cheetah Chrome, there was one night where I was just geeking out hard. Sorry, I'm trying to think of the New Jersey band now. I was geeking out hard and I was trashed, just drunk, and I was poking Cheetah Chrome in the stomach. I just kept poking him. I was going, Cheetah, and he was fucked up on coke the whole time. He's like, what? He started yelling, and I'm like, I love the Dead Boys, and I was a total fanboy, and I just walked away. And then I had to see him for the next couple days. But I was like, oh fuck, he probably thinks I'm a jerk.
No, I'd probably do something similar. I wouldn't know how to react.
Yeah, the first night that we played with him, I remember jumping up on stage just because he does like mostly Dead Boy songs. Mm-hmm. So I was like jumping up on stage, like singing Dead Boy songs with him.
Oh wow, that was with the Lost Riots, right? Like playing with.
Yeah. Most of those shows are that I mentioned with the Lost Riots. I mean, with Black Noise Scam, we played with the Germs, we played with DRI.
Yeah.
You know, like bigger local bands too, like Two Man Advantage. Consider them bigger local bands. local as far as Northeast goes.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
back. I was gonna before I ask what you have coming up. I know you mentioned you had the Ratz thing coming up, but playing in Pennsylvania, where have you played down there? Because I would love to see you play, or New Jersey or something. If you ever come down, have you ever?
I've been in Philly a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of like house shows.
Okay.
And then what's the name of that club? I'm probably gonna pronounce it wrong. The Kuiper Pass or whatever it is.
Oh, I have no idea. In Philly.
Oh Jesus, yeah. I thought it was Philly. That's it though. I mean, I know someone in Allentown, and
Oh yeah, I'm right by Allentown.
Okay. He keeps on asking, but just
Matter of time.
it's been tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to go down there.
Yeah.
I'm also like a diehard Flyers fan, and the fact that
cool.
nice. The Phantoms are right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a guy at my work. His wife somehow gets a connection to tickets, so that he's always going to fans games. So I'm like, hey,
that's awesome.
Let me go. But we'll see.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I know. Like, there's this bar down in Delaware, Bar 13. I don't know. I seen like stickers on all the bands that played. I seen Jay Prozac stickers on there too. So.
He goes all over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jay's a legend up there.
Yeah, even my friend I work with, he's like, he goes to my buddy Bert, he goes to Bar 13 a lot, and he goes, I asked him if he knows the Prozac. He goes, oh yeah, I see his stickers all over the Bar 13. I was like that.
Yeah.
Like that's part of the floodgate of all the stuff I told him. Like the Prozacs are the big wave of bands. But yeah. So yeah, I know you mentioned when you said you had the Ratz stuff coming up. Is there anything else you have got going for you, or with your label, or any other projects?
With the label that I mentioned earlier, I got Resistors EP coming out, and whenever White Thrash is done recording, they've been recording for like 2 years. Mm-hmm. Whenever they're done, that's going to come out. I got Mitch Kramer, Dave Strong split.
Yeah.
Okay. Originally, I wanted to do a cassette. I can't get behind the cassette movement. I just can't.
Okay.
Like I'll buy somebody's cassette because I love physical media. Mm-hmm. I loved holding it. I just can't. The Lost Rides put out a single like super early on, and people thought we were nuts. I just can't. I don't know. I can't do it. So I think we're going to do a 7-inch.
And now, yeah. Okay, cool. I look forward to. That's going to be great because Dave Strong rolls. Everything you do is really great. Wow, that's great.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, is there anywhere like you want to say that to follow on your socials, or I'm gonna link it all down below. But if you're on Facebook or anything,
I would just say follow the bands. Like if you could link the bands up. I mean, sure. As far as my personal accounts go, like I actually keep that kind of private.
Okay.
For specific reasons.
No, I got you.
I would say just the bands. Follow the Ratz with the Z. Mitch Kramer has a Instagram. I don't have a Facebook for Mitch Kramer. I just
it's too much to keep up sometimes.
Facebook is just could be such a nightmare.
Yeah.
So but Die Hipster's got both Instagram, Facebook.
Okay.
I don't do Twitter, so nothing's on Twitter.
I don't play it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's yeah.
Okay, cool.
I have people follow the Ratz. Follow the Ratz because there's some funny stuff popping up on that. I don't control the Ratz social media pages.
Okay.
So it's really awesome to see something and then all the comments, like some political posts with all the comments. Like there was
oh God.
I'm trying to. What was the meme that was posted? I forgot what it was, but it had nothing to do with race, and some dude called us racist. He's like, you guys are racist. And my guitar player knew she's Puerto Rican, and she's like, wait a minute.
Oh yeah.
She's like, she wasn't like, she's like, one of us is Puerto Rican, like, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it had nothing to do with race at all.
Usually how it goes with
I wish I could remember. Yeah, there's a lot of trolls on the internet.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the stuff, you know, we're kind of poking the hornet's nest with the Republicans a little bit.
Sure.
And, you know, like the super right wing people.
Mm-hmm.
And they get pissed off, man. it's kind of like they get mad.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like there was a post recently. It was Ted Cruz, and he's in clown makeup. Somebody left a comment. It was funny. I don't know. It's just if you find humor in that thing, then
Yeah, definitely. No,
you would love it.
Yeah.
So.
I've yet to. I will be getting on to that, and down below I'll be linking all that. So
Cool.
I just did it again. Every time I do an interview, I always go like this. I just did it again when I say link down below. I keep doing it.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, I definitely will be diving into that and seeing those posts. That'd be fun to read on downtime. All right, cool, man. Jeffrey, I appreciate you so much for being down and to come on.
Yeah.
It's been
Absolutely.
a pleasure to talk to you and get to know more about you.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what's next for you.
Yeah, right on.
Thanks, man.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.